Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to AskGolfNut channel and welcome to Titleist T350 2025 irons review. This is the new one. I will be doing the new versus old in a separate video, so if you haven't done so already, make sure you get down there, subscribe so you don't miss that one when it does come out. This is their brand new one, so it does look very much so to their new T250, their very much so new one. This has got the same technology or very similar technology in this one to the T250. We've still got that tungsten in the heel and the toe. We've still got that max impact technology to try and get as much as you can from this kind of iron. This is the biggest one of the lot, so it absolutely is going to be down the more game improvement route, although absolutely you could be a player and looking for something that's going to be blended into, say, a longer iron. Having something like this punch the golf ball out there, absolutely you can. When it comes to looks on this one, we have that top line look on there, which is thick-ish, but because of the chamfer on the back, you don't really get to see the full nature of this hollow-bodied top line. It is rather thick, no different to the sole. It's the biggest one of the lot, and of course we do have quite a bit of offset there, as well as blade lengths are the biggest. Now I have got the custom fit heads in here, which you can see I've got that little weight at the back, which I've explained in different videos, but I've also got the sure fit neck, because the sure fit neck from Titleist's point of view of custom fitting is amazing, because it can change your loft, it can change your lie within a custom fitting environment. When you get fit, that is really very, very good. I'm at the hole that I've done the same on the T250, and I'm trying to make sure I don't make myself look stupid because we've got water to carry. I am out at about 200 yards because this thing is 29 or so degrees, so it's not necessarily what you call weak. It is rather strong, but again, we are looking for this kind of golf club being someone who's going to want distance more than anything else. Right, let's go get a ball because I forgot to put one down there. All done. Let's go give this one a hit. Down by the golf ball, we are now well into the offset brigade. If you like your offset, we have got a little bit there, especially from doing the T100, 150 and then T250. Give it a go. Well, there's the safe side, there's the left side, and there's the loud side. It is quite loud. I will not lie on that one. Please stop. Club head speed 90.6 miles an hour, club path 1.4 from the inside, face slightly over closing. There's me chickening out, basically hitting it just a little bit to the left hand side because of that water on the right. 7mm toe, 0 high, so just fractionally toey. Being honest, I had no clue. I hit it toe. I just thought it was a fairly okay strike. We are going 14 yards offline again. That's because of my overclosed face, but a carry of 181. Going 38 yards in the air though, and nearly 49 degrees descent angle at 181. That is not bad at all. So it's still stopping on any green, even though these greens are fairly hard and fairly fast because it is YouTube by the head knock. It's loud. Am I expecting this one to be soft? No. When I go to the T250, it was a big change between the T150 and T250. That's the overriding thing with the T250, just how much louder it is compared to the 100 and 150. This, I'm expecting it, so it's not a shock. Is feeling of strike bit numb? Yes. I've got no necessarily, like the great thing with the 100s, I can feel exactly where I hit on the face. This thing, not so much, but if it works like that, and as long as I don't deviate too much, it doesn't matter. That was not middle. That I did feel a little bit toey, but I just saw the picture on COD there. That was more than a little bit toey. 91 miles an hour club speed, path and face, fairly good, no problem whatsoever, but there's you go, 12mm toe, 3mm low, so within 3mm on vertically, pretty good, but ½ an inch toe. I could feel it, and I could feel it on the basis of hitting the previous one, knowing that wasn't necessarily a bad shot, but that was actually 7mm toe. 179 yards of carry, 40 yards in the air, 50 degrees descent angle. That is working really well. Now, one of the things I'm going to be testing on this one is launch factor when it comes to the second half of the video, to see how well it does on launch factor. But at the moment, it's seeming to go up pretty darn well. I am mightily impressed with this kind of iron. Give it another go. I mean, that's left again. I mean, that's Chicken City, but I'm taking that all day long. That otherwise would be chickening out other than going in the drink. Club speed, basically 91 miles an hour. Club path and face to path, very good. It's just a little bit drawy. 7 mil low, 0 mil heel, so within reason, not bad, just slightly low on the face, but doing really well. 181 yards of carry, 40 yards in the air, basically 39.2 and nearly 50 degrees ascent angle. So even though I hit it low on the face slightly, it's still doing a really good job. I mean, that's quite impressive going that high from a low strike. Launch factor. So looking at this, you're looking at a slow swing speed golfer. On the initial thoughts, again, I need to look at the data, but it's doing really well for a slow swing speed golfer. So yes, you could put these in the bag if you don't swing that quick. Oh, that's the worst one on the lot. That is not middle. Oh no, we're fine. I thought for a second that had to do a little bit of carry. That was thin. I just hit it low on the face. You could feel that it was fairly low. That's a good result. Club speed, 90.9 miles an hour, club path 1.2 from the inside, faces 1 degree shut, not bad shot at all. 3 mil heel, 8 millimeters low, there you go. I could feel that it was not middle. We're doing 178 yards of carry, which is not too bad. 36 yards in the air, 48 degrees ascent angle, so not great strike. So did compromise a little bit on the peak height, but again, descending at 49 degrees, that is going to stop. Very loud, yes, but I expect it from this kind of golf club, but doing very, very well. I'm really encouraged at the moment to see how well it does at getting the golf ball launching. We'll look at that one when it comes to the second half of the video, which is coming up right now. But let's go hit it at 3 different swing speeds, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. Let's go see what kind of golfer could use this and if it's functional or not when it comes to different golfers' swing speeds. And let's do the heat map data, hit it all over the face, see how well it does at keeping ball speed up across that face, and see if it's actually any good. All the shots now hit with the Titleist T350 iron, the biggest one of their new releases. The game improvement idea, even though it does look a very, very nice iron for a game improvement iron. Let's go straight into the heat map data, see how forgiving this golf club is. So on the screen, you can see we've got the heat map screen. If you haven't seen these before, these are a representation of what happens when you don't hit the middle and how much ball speed gets dropped off. And because we're talking about a flat-faced iron, ball speed and distance are within reason, very, very close, being directly correlative. If you look at the top here, you've got plus 22 on the left-hand side, that is the toe. You've got minus 22 on the right-hand side, that is the heel. You've also got high and also low. You've got that blue dashed line. That blue dashed line is turf interaction line. If you can hit the golf ball any higher than 5 or 6 millimeters above that line, you haven't got to necessarily worry about how efficient the face is, because you can be hitting the ground first. Ground first will take a boatload of speed out of the golf shot anyway, and so it'd be bad, bad and bad. And for the guys that do have them on tees and hit high in the face and hit the high in the face through rough and stuff like that, you lose so much ball speed so quickly high on the face. The reason why we don't measure anything high on the face for high strikes is just purely because of the amount of drop off. All golf clubs just drop off so quickly, and because of the noise through twists and torques in the head, and because of how the golf club is shaped. If you hit it high heel, the golf ball can shoot off at a weird and wonderful angle. So please don't hit it high in the face. It is really not very good whatsoever if you can at all hit it anywhere else other than high in the face, just not the shank, because that's nearly enough just as bad. But you can go plus 20 millimeters on the toe on this hand, on the left hand side there, and that you do within reason 3 to 4%, which is not bad at all. You can go all the way to minus 20 on the right hand side, that is the heel, and you're losing about 3 to 4%. Again, it is very balanced, very neutral head, this T350, and you can move, what's the equivalent of that, 35 or so millimeters, and still only lose within sort of 0 to 3%. I mean, that's quite a big target area to miss and still do pretty darn well. You can go low on the face as well, down to 15 or so millimeters, and you're losing again 3 to 4%. This T350 is very good at being a good all-rounder. It's time to have a look at the radar chart now. The great thing with the radar chart is that you can have a look at how well the T350 does off of the toe, heel, high, low, but also add all the flight side of things as well, because different golf clubs do different things, and different golf clubs are going to be suited for different people. Different people are going to want different things as well. All this information that you see here with the heat maps, the radar chart we're going to look at in a sec, and also the 3 different swing speeds, the self-fit tool, is available on my website www.askgolfnut.com, where we've got now around about 100 100 or so irons in the iron database. Also got driver database as well, that one's growing. But in the iron database, you've got 100 or so, and you can compare them like for like against all the other ones to see which ones will work better for you. But you can see here you've got the AGN game improvement. The T350 is solidly in the game improvement sector. It is fairly strong lofted, it's big, it's got lots of technology, etc. It's within reason. I know Titleist would like to probably not call it that, but effectively with all the tech it's got in it and the loft and the size of it, it's a game improvement iron. And so you can see if we add the T350 as a comparison to the average of all the game improvement irons on the database, you can see how well it does. And you can see as an average on the toe performance, the T350 just pips the average, so it does slightly better than average of ball speed retention, and so consistency, forgiveness from the toe location. Heel, again, it's doing slightly better. I mean, Titleist have done really well to make this iron just slightly better in everything. Especially, I will be doing a T350 against T350 old v new and seeing the difference that they made. It's just that Titleist know how to do the right moves, tweak it in a certain way to make it slightly incrementally better. Because you know, the heel is no different. It is slightly better than the average. Low, again, it's slightly better than the average. It just doesn't do poorly in any specific area. The T350 is a really good all-rounder. And of course, if you look at average overall forgiveness, it's doing really well as well. It's a really solid iron, this T350. If you go to face speed though, face speed, this side of the radar chart is very much so golfer specific. This is all loft for loft adjusted as well, so it's not fair to say that one golf club being 34 degrees and one golf club's got 26 degrees. Well, 26 degrees has got less loft, so it's going to be, the ball speed's going to be faster. This is all loft for loft adjusted. So face speed is basically average to the average, all the other game improvement irons we've got in the database. If you look at the face spin rate though, the face spin rate is just fractionally under the average. Now again, we're talking about whether it's good or bad. If you've got a golfer that's a really slow swing speed golfer, let's just say a 70 miles an hour golfer, and or even lower, you're going to need as much face speed as you possibly can do. You need a golf club which is going to generate as much ball speed as possible, and then you potentially need one that's going to launch the golf ball as high as possible as well. Keep that golf ball going up in the air and keep it carrying. But when it comes to, if you're a fast swing speed golfer, you don't necessarily need face speed. Because you generate speed from your swing speed alone, you might need other things. You may not need a high launch factor because you don't want the golf ball to literally start and go to the moon. You may want something, that's the whole idea. That's our idea. We run the radar charts in comparison to all the other ones, so you can pick apart which one you want and if it's going to work effectively for you. And so the face spin rate slightly less, but the launch factor, very, very good. The Titleist T250 and the Titleist 350 are all doing really, really well in the launch factor front, getting the golf ball up in the air. And the launch factor is effectively how much at the dynamic loft that you deliver does the golf club in question then convert into physical launch angle, and it's doing really well. Let's go to the three different swing speeds now. Let's go see how well it does at 70, 80 and 90 miles an hour. I've got the 70 mile an hour information already up on the screen there. These are the sliders, this is a self-fit tool. You can see 70 miles an hour, that's the club head speed, angle attack at -2, and shaft lean at -2. Angle attack is how much you either come down or up or neutral into the golf ball, and of course, that's a slider, and you can set it to how you deliver. No different to shaft lean or D-loft. How much do you add or take loft off in your shot? Some people hit down and deliver a lot more shaft lean, D-loft more, and some actually add loft through impact. And of course, as a slider, you can set it to what you do, and that will then change all the flights and all the gappings and all the information that you've got on there that will show exactly how the balls will fly for you. But you can see 7-iron is selected, and max carry at the 70 miles an hour, 132 yards. Average carry 127. An average carry is a measure of a nominal miss around the face, a half-inch miss or so around the face. How much ball speed and ball distance drop off do you get from that average miss? So we're losing around about 5 or so yards, or 132 to 127. Going 23 yards in the air and 42.4 degrees descent angle. Now, at a slower swing speed, 70 miles an hour, you can get away with certain amounts. Now, I would say 40 degrees is the absolute minimum that you are going to want for a golf ball to go into a green and have some modicum of control. You don't want a golf ball going into a green and it just disappearing out the back. It just doesn't work. The great thing with the green is, within reason, it's a fairly consistent surface and you have some idea of how it's going to react when it hits that. 40 degrees is the absolute minimum. So this one, the 7-iron run at 42.4. absolutely fine. Remember, these are middle strikes. As soon as you start deviating the face and you start then taking away a little bit of ball speed because you miss, that's no different to the average carry. You'll also be losing a little bit of peak height. You'll also be losing a little bit of descent angle, and you will be then suffering a little bit more. So even though the 7 iron is 42.4 and then the 6 iron is 41.3, would I be going into the 6 iron at 70 miles an hour if I delivered this way? Probably not, because that 41.3 out the middle is not going to be 41.3 when I have a little miss hit. And so I would be going into some form of hybrid or very, very high lofted fairy wood of some nature when we get to this point. Add 10 miles an hour, add to 80 miles an hour now. Keep everything exactly the same, -2, -2. I keep it at -2, -2 all the time for basically continuity purposes, but you're looking at max carries now 155, average carries 150, so 5 yards or so lost, peak heights at 30 yards in the air, and descent angles 47 degrees, 46.9, which is really very, very good. And because of the launch factor of this golf club, and coupled with a slightly more speedy delivery now, 10 miles an hour fast, 80 miles an hour, you can go all the way to a 5 iron now at 44 degrees and absolutely have that as an option. Would I go to the 4 iron now, 40.8? No, no different to before. Not enough wiggle room if you miss-hit it. Bearing in mind you're looking at a 4 iron that's got a lot less loft and is a longer shaft. And so anytime you get further away from the work, it's harder to control. And you're going to start introducing a little bit more in the way of miss-hits. And of course, that is the wiggle room that you've lost straight away. So absolutely 80 miles an hour. 5 iron, if you deliver like this, would be the last golf club that I would suggest you get. When it comes to 90 miles an hour, and you could argue if you were swinging at 90 miles an hour, apart from the raw forgiveness side of things that this golf club does quite well at giving, I wouldn't necessarily be saying or suggesting that every single 90 plus miles an hour golfer will need to go out and get something of this nature, because you are looking at max carry now is 174 yards, average carry is 169. Peak height is 39 yards in the air, which is not bad whatsoever, and descent angle 50.4 degrees, which is absolutely fine. You can, if you wish, go all the way to 4 iron at 45.3 degrees and absolutely be functional. 215 yards of carry mind at that point, and that's quite a long way out there. Now, of course, if you really like your long irons and you don't like hybrids, there's an option. There you go. You don't have to go into hybrids. Personally, for me, again, a personal thing, I like hybrids on the basis it's got roll and bulge, and so you don't have to hit perfect shots. You just get away with a little bit more. But the great thing with the T350 is because how well it does when launch, and it's pretty forgiving as well. Even if you have a nominal miss, you can still use their long irons. You just have to make sure you have enough speed to make sure they work. As a conclusion to the Titleist T350 irons, looks, feel, performance, and forgiveness. Looks wise, it's their biggest one that they have, so of course it's going to be the one within reason which is the most bulbous, the biggest, the most confidence inspiring, the most offset, that kind of idea. It does have a bit of offset if you like it or not, and it is rather big, but it's designed to be big. That's what Titleist designed it to be, to give it the help that it's got. Feel wise, it is it's loud. It is quite a distinct pop when you hit it. And if there was a normal transition we'd hope to see, say with their T100 on the player side of things going up to the T350, no problem whatsoever. It's just there's a bit of a jump. If you wanted to go T250, T350, these would blend lovely because the sound is very, very similar. But the sound between a T100 and T150, very similar. The T250, massive. The T250 is massively louder, and then the T350 is basically the same, if not a fraction louder, but effectively same as T250. So if you are very sensitive to noise, some people are, some people don't care whatsoever, but if you are the people that care, just be aware the T350, a T250 would blend really well. But with a 150 and a 350, say as a long iron replacement, there's going to be a different sound. That's all you need to know. When it comes to performance, it does really, really well. I can't really complain about anything to do with how well the T350 works. It just does really decent job at doing everything really quite well. When it comes to its forgiveness, as you saw from the radar chart, it just does better. The launch factor it's got on this golf club is actually pretty good. It's one of the standout things, and the fact that it just does everything slightly better than the average game improvement iron on the database is just a testament to how good the design of the golf club is. It's very difficult sometimes to make something really good in one area and keep it pretty good in all others. Sometimes you rob Peter to pay Paul, but Titleist have done really, really well at the T350. I just think, Titleist, you've done a really good job with the T350. I just can't complain. Hope you liked the video. If you did, go and give it a big old thumbs up. Hit that like button, YouTube like, so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's free. It is great for the channel if you could subscribe. So thank you. Next to that one is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that'll let you know next time I upload another video. Hope you're well. We'll see you again soon.